Paramount Skydance is now buying Warner Brothers instead of Netflix. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, it's David Chen. As you may be aware, Netflix attempted to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. They made an offer, and then Paramount came in with a better offer, and Netflix was given an opportunity to match that offer, which they declined. This means if this goes through, the Ellison family will control Warner Brothers Discovery along with CNN and HBO, plus their already existing stake in Paramount, Paramount Plus, and CBS, not to mention they own a part of TikTok as well as Oracle. A few things about this offer that I think are worth noting. First of all, shortly before Netflix declined to raise its offer, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos met with staffers in the White House, like hours before. So a few hours before, Ted Sarandos is in the White House. Then afterwards, he says, we're not going to try to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery anymore. Make of that what you will, but it does seem like he had some signal that perhaps this acquisition might have been more difficult than he had originally thought. Once Ellison gets control of CNN, it's very likely that, like CBS News, it will adopt a more rightward slant. According to Oliver Darcy's Get Status newsletter, the panic at CNN right now is off the charts. Should that occur, the only cable news channel that is not rightward leaning will be MS Now, and that is not a very well balanced landscape for the media. The other thing that's worth noting about this deal is that it's going to require a lot of debt to finance, around $100 billion worth. Now, that is not necessarily a problem because the Ellisons are among the richest people on the planet. Larry Ellison has a net worth in the hundreds of billions of dollars. But what is going to be a concern is if they cannot operate the business successfully. And in the most recent Paramount Skydance earnings report, we saw that they lost around $570 million in the fourth quarter of 2025. So far, we haven't seen any evidence that David Ellison can run a business of the scale of Paramount Skydance in a way that is financially successful. And now he's about to take on a much larger organization. The Ellisons have a lot of cushion when it comes to operating the business at a loss, but that is not going to go on forever, especially if Oracle's fortunes change, for instance. I do think it's very possible that if this merger becomes like a business version of a car crash, Netflix swoops in 5, 10, 15 years from now and picks up the pieces. And Ted Sarandos eventually gets what he wants anyway. The California Attorney General has also warned that this deal is far from complete, that the California Department of Justice has an open investigation into antitrust concerns. So we will see. There is not a done deal quite yet. But if this goes ahead as planned, tons of people are going to lose their jobs, tons of creatives, and your media is about to become less diverse, less interesting, and more rightward leaning.